What is going on, everybody? Welcome to episode number 67 of the Everything NYJ podcast. Liam Johnson, your host here, along with my good old co-host, Gino Italy Jet Pagano. Gino, how you doing, my friend?
It's been a good day. It's been a good day. Stomach hurts, but when does that when does that never happen, right, Liam? Coming from guys that have stomach issues, right? Good
Yeah.
day though. It's a good day. It's a good night. It snowed in St. Louis, so
Oh,
that's interesting. Almost 3 inches. They were predicting
wow.
anywhere from 3 to 10 inches, but it's St. Louis. You get all 4 or 5 seasons in one week, so you never know. But other than
Yeah,
that,
it's pouring
pretty
rain.
good. Pretty good. Oh, is it
Pouring rain
raining
here in
near
Long
you?
Island. Yeah, it's
Oh, gotcha.
downpouring. Huge. So, Gino,
What's up?
it is the off season for the New York Jets, but it seems to be like the biggest news stories of the year and during this off season. It's another off season, another conversation, who's the quarterback, who's going to be our coach, who's the offensive coordinator.
Mhm.
It almost seems like a tradition at this point. So much news to break
Yeah,
down. It does. It does.
yeah, that's true.
It's insane, man. So the big news that everybody knows this is what's going around. Aaron
Right.
Rodgers. What are your thoughts on Aaron
Yeah.
Rodgers? We'll get right into it.
I mean, I would love to have Aaron Rodgers. I love to have Carr or Lamar. I mean, uh it's just really interesting, right? Like it's going to be talked about all season long. There's so many things that could happen. We're not done with our search as well, but if you're going to bring in Rodgers, I think you might have to bring in Hackett. And then I would love to see Lazard too. I love Lazard. I'm a huge fan. I would love him to replace Corey Davis. But overall, I think it's going to be very interesting because Woody Johnson said he would do it. Two first
Yeah.
round picks for it too. And what people keep forgetting about Aaron Rodgers thing, it's going to cost the Packers money. It's not going to cost us much money at all. We can reconstruct that whatever how we believe if we bring in him. It's it's just going to be insane. This is going to be one wild ass offseason. What do you think about Aaron Rodgers?
Well, actually, it's going to cost us 60 million for 1 year. If we could somehow divide that like 30 million, and I
Mm,
want Aaron Rodgers. I would love Aaron Rodgers, but not for 1 year. If we could get him for 2 years guaranteed, I think you have to. It's time that this New York Jets front office, they put their big boy pants on and we go out. Stop playing around. Stop drafting quarterbacks. Stop getting these middle tier guys. Go out and get your quarterback. Go win a
okay.
championship. Why not win a Super Bowl? It's not unrealistic. We have the talent. We have Garrett Wilson. We have Elijah Moore. We
Mm,
have Brees Hall. We have
yeah.
tight ends.
Yeah.
The only thing that kind of concerns me is him staying healthy. And this isn't to be the negative Jets fan here, but Aaron Rodgers comes to the Jets. Dude, he's gonna get hurt. It's the Jets, dude. It's gonna happen. We have to fix that offensive line. We have to fix the offensive
See,
line.
look at Mathai. That's what I was going to explain next. If you look at the last one, that's what's going to happen if we get Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah,
According to it's
dude, 15 million, I would do it.
yeah. So according to Peter King, that's where he's getting that off of.
Okay,
It's
let's see
crazy.
what else
I
we
would
got.
love.
Yeah,
I would do it. I would do it.
yeah, I would do it. I mean, you got to stop. Just enough with the BS. Enough with the clown. Just stop being a circus. Zach
Mm,
Wilson's not the guy. That's fine. I don't want Joe Flacco back. Mike White,
right.
you want to be the backup? Go ahead. I don't think that we keep Mike White if we have Zach Wilson as our backup. I
Okay.
don't know because you're gonna have to pay Mike White something. I mean, yes, he only won one game, but he played very well in the others. I don't know what to do with that. But all I know is if you can go get Aaron Rodgers, that changes everything. But you have to fix the offensive line.
Okay.
You know,
Yeah.
in the offensive line, it could be better. We're getting AVT back next year. We're getting possibly Makai Becton. Hopefully, knock on wood. Hopefully,
Right.
maybe we'll get
Knock on
Nate
all the
Herbig.
wood.
But Dwayne Brown, he's probably done. I'm sure he's retiring. I'm pretty sure we
Right.
have Leighton Tomlinson for another year. Maybe we could cut him. I don't really care to see him back out in the football field next year. To be
Okay.
completely honest with you, maybe you get rid of one of your tight ends, probably Uzama. I would be very comfortable getting rid of him.
Mm.
It seems like
Mm.
Conklin was the
Okay.
favorite.
Okay.
I don't want to pay
Okay.
big money for a blocking tight end. We
But you
gave Jeremy Ruckert his redshirt year. Maybe Jeremy Ruckert in I don't really have much faith in Kenny Aboa, but maybe you get rid of one of your tight ends. Maybe you get rid of Braxton Berrios and put Elijah Moore in that role. That's how you save some money. And then whatever you have to just put those resources towards the offensive line if we are getting Aaron Rodgers. I just don't trust Aaron Rodgers behind a banged up offensive line, and I don't think that's really fair to him either.
Yeah, I agree and disagree with you. I think you keep Uzama for me. I we haven't seen the full thing. Dude, this LaFleur didn't do well with the weapons that we had. Like he didn't really
Yeah,
do
that's true.
anybody to everyone's strengths and weaknesses. And also half of that is because of a quarterback too. Don't get me wrong, quarterback and offensive line, but a lot of it is on the OC as well. I'm confident you did put out a game plan, but it wasn't enough. I think if you bring in a proven guy that's good at the offensive line, offensive coordinator, and that's not like a first timer, then I'd be like, okay, let's see what he does with all these weapons. Because,
Yeah.
like I keep saying to people, Uzama is a great red zone player. He's a good you can throw him even in the middle of the field. Like you play to people's strengths and weaknesses, and we just didn't do it. We just didn't do it. But I hope the new one, whoever comes in, I hope that whoever we have can do that. Because if we don't, it's gonna be another LaFleur.
I just I'm just not so sure that we need both of them. And it seems like Tyler Conklin is the favorite out of the two. And then
Yeah.
maybe, you invested a third round draft pick in Jeremy Ruckert. At some point he has to start producing. So it's just I just don't know if he's
I understand
needed,
about the Rucker thing. Yeah, I understand
you
about that.
know, and maybe like Joyner goes and we could get like another safety in the draft. You know who is available is Poyer from the Bills. That's
And
interesting. That would be
love,
a huge upgrade.
and love from the Giants too. I think that would be
Yep.
really interesting. What do you
So
think about that?
New York Sports Wicker Media says I would expect Rodgers for a one and a conditional fourth that could become a first based on playoff. I don't know if you're going to get him for just a first and a fourth, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be more than just a first.
Well, what does the
If it's
chat
just
think? What do you
picks,
guys think? What does everybody think? Let's put it out there. You know.
Vinny is saying I think we get Rodgers for a 2023 second round pick and a 2024 first round. Use that first this year for the best offensive lineman on the board. That would be ideal. I just think
Yeah, it'd
it's
be
going to be
ideal.
at least two. I think the Packers even said two first round picks will get the job done,
Yeah,
and they're
and
not
a
trading
player,
within the
two
NFC
first
East.
round picks and a player. So maybe Elijah Moore.
I don't know, dude. I don't know if I do Elijah Moore to be. I mean, he wants out, but with the new offensive coordinator coming in, he still might want to stay. Maybe you give them Uzama.
Yeah, but what if you did this though? And bear with me. If you bring in Hackett, right? He's a great offensive coordinator, just not a good coach, right? We've seen that.
Yep.
If he's a
Hmm.
good offensive coordinator, you bring in Rodgers, right? But what if you bring in Lazard? You can replace Elijah Moore with that. We keep Mims, keep Barrios, and whoever we're going to get is Smith or whatever, probably
Yeah.
Smith, or we might bring in Jackson again. I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do. But, and then obviously Wilson is your number one guy. Would you do that?
Well, see, here's the thing. I would try to make that guy Corey Davis instead, just because you have to pay him after this
Mm,
year.
okay.
Elijah Moore, he's still on his rookie contract. It's costing us
Okay.
nothing to have him on the team right now. That's personally what I would do. If
Yeah.
I mean, I want Corey Davis off
Fair.
this team. I really do. If we could find a way to get value out of Corey Davis
Got
and
it.
get rid of him, I would do it in a heartbeat. A lot of people are saying too. I'm hearing Lazard, and I'm also hearing DeAndre Hopkins.
I
That'd be
think he's going to
interesting.
the Patriots.
Yeah.
Patriots are God, what was the other team called? Was it Titans? No, it's not the Titans. Someone can figure out in the chat. I think one of them's Patriots. If he goes to the Patriots, damn. Damn.
Well, I
That's
mean,
all I
that's not
gotta
the
say.
end.
Damn.
That's not the end of the world because
Right.
that's why we have guys like Sauce. That's why
True.
you draft a corner fourth overall. For that
Right.
reason alone. You know,
Exactly.
Truman says drafting Michael Meyer, Notre Dame, football would literally change our entire tight end room to elite status. Yeah, if you could
Right.
draft him, keep Conklin, and then you have Ruckert, there you go. Now you have your tight ends for the next 5 years, 10 years maybe, depending on how it all plays out.
Right.
And it's just, see, that's the thing also that kind of gets me with Aaron Rodgers is just because that goes against everything that Joe Douglas has said. Joe Douglas is a firm believer in, building through the draft. So just going out and trading all away your first round picks, I don't know if he's willing to do that. But at the same time, what
Yeah.
point do you have? I mean, like you kind of have to if you want to save your job.
Right.
I'm not if I'm Joe Douglas and Robert Sala, I'm not banking on a bunch of rookies in Zach Wilson. I'm not.
I agree.
Derek Carr, he could probably get you into the playoffs, but he's no Aaron Rodgers. And I've been saying it all
Right.
along. I don't think Derek Carr is that good. I don't. He's
Okay.
decent, but he's not better than somebody like a Lamar Jackson, or Josh Allen, Burrow.
Hmm.
He's not better than those guys. Mahomes.
Well, yeah, well, of course, but like Carr is his numbers were better way before this year. Like he was good,
Hmm.
except this year. Like his numbers prove that. But this year, it's like, you got McDaniels in, you got your boy back, and evidently you and your boy are still really good guys, really good friends. But the connection wasn't there. It's starting to heat up a little bit at the end, but not really. I think if he goes to another team like us and you bring in the right coordinator, then I think it'll be a little bit different, though. But we gotta land at least one of those three. But if we don't land one of those three, who would you get?
If we don't, well,
Brissett, Minshew. What would you do?
no, no. I'm not.
Okay.
I'm not. I'm done paying for mediocre quarterbacks. I really am.
Okay.
New York Sports Wicker Media, a good friend of the channel, says, but I'm factoring the Joe Douglas tax where the deal will always be a little bit better for the Jets than we expect. That is true.
Right.
If
Right.
somebody could get a good deal, it would be Joe Douglas. He knows how to
Facts.
fleece guys. But getting back to you, Gino, it's yeah, I'm done. I'm done paying. I don't want
Okay.
a Baker Mayfield. I don't want. If you're
Yeah.
not going to get us
No,
to the
true.
playoffs, I don't want you.
Yeah.
Because if that's his, then why not just start Zach Wilson?
True.
You
Yeah.
know,
That's. I mean, yeah. I. I mean, let's bring in another open-minded guy. He's very specific on what he likes and what he doesn't like. This guy is one of my very good friends. I do the Jets duo show with him, and I also am with them on Let's Talk Sports. Uh, it's called Let's Talk Sports, but we do Let's Talk Jets on there. One of my really good friends. He's like a little brother to me, and the dude's only in high school.
wow.
And a fact, he's one of the first people to do Jets content. He's been doing this for a few years. It's really good stuff. Jude Jets is on the show. Jude, my friend, how are you?
How's it going, man? How's it going, y'all? Thank y'all so much for having me on. It's gonna be a blast.
What's
Awesome,
going on,
man.
brother? Glad to have you on,
Not
man.
much, man. Thank y'all so much for having me on.
So
All
there's a
right.
lot of Jets rumors going around, a lot of quarterback controversy, coaching controversy. What are your thoughts on all of this?
Well, the quarterback controversy, I feel like it's either three guys. Give me Carr, give me Rodgers. Would love Lamar Jackson, although he's pretty much off the table right now. I don't see Lamar Jackson getting traded like
Yeah.
at all. But Aaron Rodgers, Derek Carr would love it if these two guys ended up on the New York Jets. I mean, a lot of people are saying we got to give up multiple firsts to Rodgers, got to take on that crazy contract. I mean, Aaron Rodgers, top 10
Yeah.
quarterback all the time. The dude still is top 10 quarterback in the NFL. I
Right.
mean, the dude can flat out play. He's super talented. You get Aaron Rodgers on this team, like Stephen A. Smith said. I mean, the New York Jets could potentially be Super Bowl contenders. I mean,
Exactly. Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers is that type of quarterback. You put him on this team with this much talent, he's going to do wonders, especially with the defense we have. And I'm also would love it if the New York Jets got Derek Carr. I've seen a lot of people not be a fan of Derek Carr. And I mean, look, I get it. The dude wasn't amazing this season, 14 interceptions, not great. But then last season when Derek Carr, he almost threw for 5,000 yards last season, of course. Big difference than last year and this year. But he also threw 14 picks last season when Carr was considered to be this top 10 quarterback in the NFL. And pretty much every year in Carr's career, outside of that 3 year run whenever he made multiple Pro Bowls, he's thrown 10 plus interceptions per season, over 3,000 yards though, 20 plus touchdowns. I mean, that's just a quarterback you're going to get in Derek Carr. And if Derek Carr's on this New York Jets team this season, I mean, he's taking us to the playoffs. I mean, with the offense we have, with the
Hmm.
defense we have, I definitely feel like Derek Carr's taking us to the playoffs. And I've said it a lot. Matthew Stafford, kind of a similar quarterback to Carr, not
What are you saying?
super similar, but Matthew Stafford took the Rams to the playoffs. Derek Carr took the Rams to the playoffs and won them the Super Bowl. Derek Carr, I feel like, can definitely do the same with the talent the New York Jets have, with the defense we have. I feel like it can definitely happen. Of course, the offensive coordinator is going to be interesting for the New York Jets. Currently, don't have one right now. We've interviewed quite a bit of guys. Some guys I'm a bit iffy on. Some people I'm really like. I'm big fan of Joe Brady. I know
Yeah.
his stint in Carolina was pretty bad, but he was young, has never really called plays for any college team, high school, NFL, didn't have any play calling experience. But he went to the Buffalo Bills, quarterback coach of Josh Allen, and things are working out pretty well in Buffalo. There are some rumors that he does want to stay in Buffalo and not go to another team, which I mean, I completely understand. They've been to the playoffs for like 4 straight years now. So, I mean, I don't blame him, but still, Joe Brady, if he wants the job, out of all the guys we've interviewed so far, definitely would like him for the OC job. I mean, you just looked at the quarterback he's worked with, and if the New York Jets want Zach Wilson to work out, which I feel like they do. I mean, just based on what Salah and Douglas have been saying in the press conference, it's kind of the impression I'm getting, although things could definitely change. But I feel like they want Zach Wilson here long term. You get Joe Brady, guys. I mean, a guy who has worked with Drew Brees, Joe Burrow, now Josh Allen. I mean, maybe he could fix Zach Wilson along with whatever quarterback we get. But what y'all were just saying, we don't want to settle for mediocrity. And, like you just said, Liam, if we settle for mediocrity, might as well just keep Zach Wilson. I mean, the New York Jets, we either need to go big or go home. What Woody Johnson's been saying, I mean, he wants to spend the money on a QB. That's going big. So I feel like the New York Jets, we're going to go big this offseason, grab us a top 10, top 15 quarterback in the NFL, pay him a lot of money, and we'll hopefully make the playoffs.
And not only that, you said he worked with Burrow too at LSU, right? Didn't you say that before? Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's a great track record for for Brady. Liam, what do you think about it?
Well, Jude, I have a quick question for you. Would you do the Rodgers deal for 1 year?
That's an interesting question because I mean, if Rodgers takes us to the Super Bowl and we win it, then I mean, of course, I would do it for 1
Oh,
year.
absolutely.
I mean, 100%. I mean, I would take a Super Bowl 1 year Rodgers, 2 first-round picks. I don't care. Super Bowl is a Super Bowl.
Right.
But 1 year Aaron Rodgers for what we could give up definitely is interesting. And I mean, personally, if he develops Zach Wilson, if he plays a part in that, give it the 2 first-round picks to Rodgers, he develops Zach Wilson. Wilson's okay next season, or not okay. He's like a competent starting quarterback in the NFL. He gets the confidence back. He gets his fundamentals right. Aaron Rodgers plays a big part in that. And then we go on from there. Zach Wilson's our franchise quarterback. But then only 1 year Rodgers is concerning, though, because then at the same time, though, giving up all this assets for multiple first-round picks, probably, maybe some players. I've seen some talk about it. Maybe Elijah Moore getting involved in that. That definitely is an interesting question. And honestly, it just depends on what Rodgers does if he were to become the quarterback. Because, of course, if we're winning the Super Bowl or we're at least making the playoffs, making a good run, and Rodgers is kind of manufacturing all of that, then, I mean, I would take it 100%. And he's helping Zach Wilson develop and whatnot. I 100% would take Rodgers for 1 year. But if he's playing bad, the New York Jets give up all these assets for him. Zach Wilson's not developed, and only 1 year Rodgers, it wouldn't be worth it.
That's what I'm afraid of. And not only that, it's like I'm afraid because of our offensive line. And like I told Gino earlier, like I don't want to be that negative Jets fan, but I fear that he's going to get hurt because that is the Jets thing to do. He's going to come in, we're going to give up all these assets, and next thing you know, knock on wood, like his rotator cuff or his AC, something serious, he's out for the season. I don't want that to happen. I'm not saying that at all, but that just seems to be like that's the New York Jets for you. So it's like I want him at least 2 years. If we get 2 to 3 years, sign me up for that in a heartbeat. I'm hearing a lot of rumors that Quinnen Williams might be going in that package. There's no way in hell I'm giving up Quinnen Williams.
No way.
At all. No way. Would never give up Quinnen Williams for Aaron Rodgers, for Derek Carr. I mean, would not give up Quinnen Williams at all. Dude is anchor of this defensive line. Huge reason to why the defense is so good this season. I mean, the dude's the best run stuffer and pass rusher on the team pretty much. Would not give up Quinnen Williams at all.
No, absolutely not.
Yeah, and not only that, like I wouldn't give up anybody else either. Like it's got to be someone. If we are going to go for the Rodgers thing, it's got to be someone that I think they're going to want a wide receiver. I really do think that they will. I think because Lazard's leaving, Watkins didn't work out. So, I mean, it's one of those. And also, they had another veteran. I forgot who else. Maybe Jude, you might know. But that didn't work out for them, too. So, I would think they want to get like a wide receiver / maybe a defensive player because they don't need running backs. They don't really need a tight end. Well, maybe they might. Yeah, it just depends because we got 4 now. So, I would not want to bring in a good defensive proven guy. I would definitely do the first 2 first-round picks, and I would definitely put in Elijah Moore or Mims. Shoot, maybe even Corey Davis. Put him in that package or something. But I just can't see it right now. But Jude, I know realistically I can't see Lamar coming to the Jets. I could see more Rodgers and Carr. If there's anybody else that you would want, I know Liam says he wants these 3 guys and that's it. I look at it as like, okay, I would like Minshew and Brissett, but that's only if it's like our last option.
Right.
What would you want?
Well, if we're not able to get Jackson, Carr, or Rodgers,
Right.
I wouldn't be opposed to getting Jimmy Garoppolo. His injury history is concerning. He's only played 1 full season as a starter, and he doesn't have the ties anymore because Miles Austin's gone, or at least for a year. John Bennett's gone, LaFleur's gone. All the offensive ties, or all the major offensive ties he had to this Jets coaching staff in San Francisco are out pretty much. So there's not really ties to Jimmy Garoppolo, but at the same time, though, the dude has pretty much done nothing but win. I mean, as soon as he got to San Francisco, they won 5 straight games. They went undefeated that first year with Garoppolo. They made it to the Super Bowl 2 years after they acquired him, and he also led them to the NFC Championship. I mean, Garoppolo has done nothing but win. You give him a solid run game, which the New York Jets are going to have with Breece Hall, a good defense, some solid weapons to work with, and I feel like Garoppolo, no matter what system he's in, can produce. And call me crazy on this one. Call me crazy, but I also wouldn't be that opposed to Tom Brady. It is crazy.
You're crazy.
I hate Tom Brady. I hate him as much as everyone, but I mean, the dude is Tom Brady. I don't think he signs with the New York Jets, and he is, 45 years old, probably will retire. But like, worst things worse, no other options. Tom Brady's available. I mean, he's better than Brissett, Minshew. I mean, I wouldn't mind Brady. I just hate him so much, and I don't know if I could take Brady as my quarterback, but I wouldn't be opposed to it.
Okay, Jude, hold on, Liam, hold on. Jude, I love you, man. But damn, no, he hates us. We hate him. Right. Yeah, he's got a great track record, but it's not happening, and I don't want him. I would pack his stuff up even if he was here for just 1 day to get him out of here. Liam, you can go.
You're in high school. What year were you born?
Oh no, here we go.
What year?
2007.
Yeah. I'm a little bit older than you, and Gino's a little bit older. Gino's the old man. We have watched. You have too. I mean, you've seen it too. But you were 3 years old in 2010.
I don't even want Dak. Look at this, Liam. I don't even want Dak. I don't want Dak here either.
It's even during the Rex years. I mean, like everyone remembers that big super. I mean, the AFC Championship game. But beat New England on the way there. But he's been blowing us out and kicking our ass for 15 years, 20 years. There's just no way in hell I can do it. I'm going on the record and I swear to God, I mean this with I swear to God, Tom Brady comes to the Jets, I'm done. I am not watching a game. I swear to God, I am ending the podcast. I am ending. Gino, I'll give you the podcast if you want to continue doing. I am not talking.
Give me the keys.
I'm deleting the Twitter account. It's gone. I swear to God, I'm not doing it. I cannot. That's where I draw the line. There's a line, and that is where I draw it. I don't care.
Hey, Jude, you looking for a job? You want to replace Leo?
I swear to God, that's it. That's it. That is my line. That is my line.
Okay, wait a minute. Hold on. If that's the line, what if Robert Kraft bought the Jets? Is that another line that you would cross and you would end the show?
Is he owning the Patriots too, or does he sell the?
No,
Patriots
he sells the Patriots and he buys the Jets. And you bring Brady here.
Listen, he's like a brainwashed, like deadbeat old man. Like he doesn't bother me. Like he doesn't even know he doesn't know what's going on. He doesn't. Like all you gotta do is just just take his wheelchair, go into like a retirement home, and just leave him there. And then I don't have to worry about him. And then guess what? Then at that point, you don't have an owner that's getting involved because he's gonna be like 120 next year. I don't care about that, But I don't want Belichick again. We had him for a day. You'll be a mob boy. It's true.
Oh, yeah. I love it. Go on. What were you
Yeah,
saying?
I
What were you
probably will
saying?
be.
What were
But
you
yeah,
saying?
if Robert Kraft somehow buys the Jets, that means we probably won't be having an owner that gets involved at that state. Because what is he like 80 now? Like he's
Yeah,
like
dude, he's
100.
super old, man. He just got
The
married
Mets were
too. He just got
yeah,
married recently
he's
too.
weird. Yeah, he's weird. He
Yeah,
doesn't know.
dude.
He doesn't know what he's doing. He's like, that's Sleepy Rob. That's what we're gonna call him, Sleepy Rob.
Oh wow,
You know. But we have him. We have Belichick. I don't want. Which he's not coming to
it's
the
never
Jets.
happening. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
But you
never
know what? If
happening.
Tom Brady was to come to the Jets, he would come to the Jets and we'd go like 0-17 just to spite the Jets. He would come.
Yeah,
He'd lose every game just as like one more fu to the team. That's what he would do. It's not
or
happening.
or he would f the Jets and the Bills if he went to Miami. That would be like one big fuck you. Seriously.
Right.
And the Patriots.
Yeah.
That's why I said the Patriots and the Jets. There'll be one big fuck you to both teams. Bills, it doesn't matter. He doesn't really care about that. But he hates us and he hates the Patriots. So it's one big fuck you. And he's already established in Florida anyway.
I just want him to
Yeah.
go retire. Just
Yeah.
go get your new girl.
Right.
Go talk to
Yeah.
your kids like once a year and just leave me alone. Seriously. Like maybe go try being a father. How about that?
Oh
You know?
wow. Shots
Yeah.
fired.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't like the guy at all. He ruined my
Right.
childhood, Gino.
Yeah, he did. He
Okay?
ruined everybody's childhood. I get it.
Pretty much.
You know how many times I cried myself to sleep because of that man? Fuck him.
Oh, hey, Liam's got feelings, everybody. I never
Yeah.
thought I would see the
Yeah, I
day.
do. Yeah.
Never thought I would see the day.
I did. Not anymore. I did.
Yeah, he
I did
did.
one. I did. He hurt my
Oh my
last feeling.
god. I get it, man. Jude, I got a question for you. I know me and you have done many, many, many shows together, and I've been doing shows with Liam
Sick
for a long
invite.
time as well. What?
I said sick invite.
You're welcome. Uh drop. Jude,
Yeah.
I know where your intentions are on a lot of stuff, but Jude, you gotta give your take to Liam about this. At the wide receiver position, I know we've talked about you, Elijah Moore. We talked about Minshew, about Corey Davis, and I know how much you love Carter. I mean, we could see it in the background. What do you think we should do at the wide receiver position this offseason?
Just real quick,
Well,
this guy has suffered too. Finger Lakes Jets fan. He sat through Boomer and Kotite.
Love it. Love it, Finger
That's
Lakes.
harsh.
Love it, Finger
Sorry, Jude, I didn't mean to
Lakes.
cut you off, but that's pain right there. That's pain right there. Oh, I just hit it again. It's gonna come back up. Oh, maybe not. Oh, yep, there it is. All right, sorry, Jude. I saw another painful Jet fan. I decided to acknowledge him.
Gotta love it.
hey, first though, at least y'all guys have watched a playoff Jets game before. Never in my time. Never in my time as a fan.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, you're right.
absolutely
2015
right.
was
You're
my
right.
first year. But yeah, that was rough. 2015, 10-6, down since then. Never made it back.
Yeah.
Never had a winning record since then. It's been tough, but hopefully next year's changed. But wide receiver position, obviously we got our number one in Garrett Wilson, offensive rookie of the year finalist. He has the betting odds to win. Probably gonna win the award unless Brock Purdy somehow wins it. Kenneth Walker maybe. Hope Brock Purdy doesn't win it. I mean, dude played like 6 games this year.
Yeah,
But,
exactly. Yeah.
I mean, if at that point nominate Brees Hall. Come on. But Garrett Wilson, he's a stud. 1,103 yards with 3 different quarterbacks. Imagine what he can do with a competent QB. Numbers all over the place. Elijah Moore, I'm still a fan of. I mean, whenever he requested a trade, hate Elijah Moore, ranted about him, and the many videos, the streams after he requested the trade. And now that the season's over, now that LaFleur's fired, now that all the stuff is coming out, I can kind of see where he's coming from. And what Elijah Moore did in his rookie season was good. I mean, he led the New York Jets in receiving yards despite not playing in every single game. And I was very impressed with Moore. I mean, a lot of people had all these high expectations for Elijah Moore entering year 2. Jet X Factor, I think, released an article looking back on their 2022 preseason takes. And I mean, pretty much every single one of them said Elijah Moore is going to lead the team in receiving yards. I mean, the dude is just talented. And he is a very good route runner. I mean, he's gotten open a lot this year. And Jet X Factor also did a compilation of all the times the New York Jets have just missed Elijah Moore wide open. And I mean, it's a ton. Mike White, Zach Wilson, Joe Flacco, they all did it. And I can see why Elijah Moore's frustrated now. I mean, it makes sense. So maybe next year, whenever you get a quarterback like an Aaron Rodgers, a Derek Carr, maybe Elijah Moore starts to get the ball more and he can play like the second-round pick. I still have a lot of faith in Elijah Moore. Just the kicker is the other wide receiver in the room. You're going to have 3 starting receivers. Is Corey Davis going to be the third one? Is a free agent going to be the third guy? Personally, I feel like Corey Davis is cut just because the dude. I mean, he barely plays. I mean, the dude has missed, I want to say, half of the games he could have possibly played with the New York Jets, which isn't ideal. And your consistent safety blanket wide receiver Corey Davis is supposed to be the veteran presence. Why be a veteran presence when you're rarely on the field? And everything that's coming out recently, Zach Rosenblatt said that the New York Jets are expected to move on from Corey Davis. I mean, it just seems inevitable that the Jets will be letting go of him. So already getting used to who the next receiver is going to be. And Mel Kiper said the New York Jets should select Jackson Smith Njigba. Sorry for mispronouncing that. I don't know how to pronounce that name. In the first round this year,
Yeah,
pick
Truman's
11.
calling that.
Truman's
Truman's
saying it in
calling.
the draft. And I mean, I wouldn't be mad if the New York Jets got Jackson Smith simply because the dude put up 1,600 receiving yards
Facts.
with Wilson on the roster and Chris Olave. I mean, Ohio State is wide receiver university. Excuse me, they constantly put out elite wide receiver talent, and Jackson Smith is probably going to be the next guy up. But then at the same time, in the first round, with all the needs the New York Jets have, I wouldn't see us taking a wide receiver in the first round with offensive tackle, with linebacker, with safety, with whatever other need the New York Jets going to have. I just can't see wide receiver being in the first round. But by all means, if we take them, then I mean, hey, that would be an elite wide receiver group. But personally, I'm thinking about free agency, which guys are going to be there. And me and NYJ, we talked about it today. Alan Lazard, he's going to be moving on from Green Bay. He's going to be a free agent. If the Jets get Aaron Rodgers, pair him up with someone he's already familiar with. I mean, the dude's 6'5", 6'4". He's tall. He can be this red zone threat the New York Jets want. Also, would be a fan of Jacoby Myers, Patriots guy. He's just been reliable the past 2-3 years for them. And
Okay.
Pro Football Focus had him ranked as like the best free agent wide receiver available. I mean, I just feel like Jacoby Myers, he isn't this wide receiver one caliber guy, but despite all the bad QB play he's had over the past 3 years, he's always just been able to constantly produce for them. And I feel like he would be solid on a team like the New York Jets. And then the last free agent wide receiver, well, I mean, I would be down for Juju Smith-Schuster as well, but personally, I don't feel like he's going to walk out of Kansas City. I mean, I would love it if Juju was a free agent, but I feel like he's going to get resigned 100%. But then Darius Slayton with the Giants, he has some drop problems, but the dude is, big play Slay. I don't know if they call that about Darius Slayton as well, but it can definitely be said about not Darius Slay, and you got Darius Slayton. You get us confused all the time. But Darius Slayton, he made a lot of big plays with the Giants. I mean, he wouldn't have to move pretty much. I mean, different facilities will not the same stadium. We'll be staying in New Jersey. I don't know if he likes the area or whatnot, but I mean, keeping him in New Jersey might be something he wants to do for a different team. And he was just underused in that Giants offense. And Slayton, he's big playability, he's deep threat, and he's also got some height as well. Jets could use him as a red zone threat. So would not mind the New York Jets picking up Darius Slayton as well to be that 2-3 option. But that's my thoughts on the wide receiver room.
What do you think?
Forgot one of them. What are your thoughts on DeAndre Hopkins? He's available as well.
That's a good one. I would love it if the New York Jets got DeAndre Hopkins. I mean, he's a top 10 wide receiver in the NFL when healthy. I mean, the dude almost had 1,000 yards a season despite only playing in like 9 games.
Right.
From quarterback carousel towards the end. I mean, if the New York Jets were able to get DeAndre Hopkins, absolutely huge. Personally, I don't feel like the Jets get him. I feel like we're going to be investing a lot in the quarterback. But if the Jets got DeAndre Hopkins, I mean, Hopkins and Garrett Wilson, that's very nasty.
So nasty.
Who is stopping DeAndre Hopkins, Garrett Wilson, Elijah Moore, our tight ends? That's lethal right there. And then also maybe Trey Target, Brandon Cooks too. I wouldn't be down for the New York Jets grabbing Brandon Cooks, solid, nice wide receiver as well. But that's my thoughts on wide receiver.
Yeah, he's very consistent, Brandon Cooks.
Yeah, Cooks, Yeah, injury issues. We know he's got injury issues, but he is by far the best wide receiver the Texans have had in about 3 years because when Hopkins left. But overall, if we got Hopkins and Rodgers or Lamar or Carr, like, man, that Devontae Adams connection with Rodgers, I know we're not going to get Devontae. I know we're not going to get Devontae, but like that would kind of be like a filler. If we got Hopkins and Rodgers, that would be insane.
Insane, bro.
I mean, sky's the limit.
I think this draft we really need to focus on offense. Let's say we give up our first round pick this year. Second and third round, I'm going both offensive line. Just I want an
Yeah.
abundance of riches on the offensive line because we kind of need to at this point.
But would you resign McGovern, Liam?
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't think he's really been a problem.
No,
Like I don't think he's like he doesn't.
he's been mediocre. He's been solid. He
Yeah.
hasn't been
Yeah,
like good or really good, really bad. He's just consistent.
And he
the
hasn't missed
the
much
only guy
time
that
either.
yeah,
Yeah,
no, he
he's
Oh,
right.
hasn't. The
He's
only
right.
guy that I wanted to replace him was Creed Humphreys a few years ago, and he had to, ended up
Mm,
going to Kansas City. That's the guy I wanted.
mm,
But I mean, like, unless we could upgrade him, I'm still, I want guards and tackles, especially tackles,
mm.
because you don't know what Becton's going to be. You
Right.
can't give him the starting. He looks to be in a lot better shape than he was this time last year.
Facts.
So it is what it is. But like, he hasn't played in 2 years.
Yeah.
So I don't know. The good thing is he didn't have to learn the LaFleur system at all. So like that kind of helps.
Right.
Um, yeah, dude, I'm just so down to draft guys, but maybe even bring
Yeah.
in like another free agent. But it's just like I don't want somebody like a Laken Tomlinson. I think he's here next year. I think he's gonna be playing next year.
Right.
It's just if we get especially Aaron Rodgers, I don't think we really make any moves in free agency. If
Hmm.
I'm down to get rid of Joyner and bring in somebody like a Poyer, but it's just that's a really
Love.
expensive
I want
piece.
Love. I think he's a cheaper
Okay,
option. He's a good
that's
option,
fine.
I feel like.
That's fine. That's
Yeah.
fine. It's just I don't know, man. It's just it does kind of tie us up. But at the end of the day, I'm done screwing around. Just like go get the quarterback. Like
Yeah.
you want a
yeah.
good quarterback, you're gonna pay for him. It's as simple as
Right.
that. And yeah, the picks are nice, but the picks are also crapshoots. Aaron Rodgers is the known commodity. You know what you're getting with him. You bring in if that's the case, then I am hiring Nathaniel Hackett. To
Yeah.
me, it's either Nathaniel Hackett or Frank Reich. If Frank Reich doesn't get a head coaching opportunity, then give me Frank Reich. I was kind of high on Greg Roman, but if we're bringing in
No.
somebody like a
No.
Rodgers, then no. Then
No.
no.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, he'll make Brees Hall a star,
Yeah.
you
From all
know?
that. From all that
Adrian
stuff.
Peterson type season coming from Brees Hall, Craig Roman's
Yeah,
OC, but
absolutely. Absolutely.
So we got a lot of Zach fans tonight. As Finger Legs Jet has been saying, look at this. LaFleur was the and then and then I love his comment. The intruders are out tonight. And then we got some
Yeah.
summer hope. Some summer hope. Summer hope with Strevel. I
Strebler.
love it. I love it. I
Strebler's
love it.
gone. He's done.
Right. Okay, so Jude, my next question for you is as we got 5 to 10 minutes left on this podcast, what are you thinking for the defensive line and the linebacker position? Because I know we need to get Huff back. We need to get the Williams brothers back. But is there anybody else that you have in mind?
well, really, I feel like the New York Jets have their defensive line already on the team. I
Okay.
mean, you extend Quentin Williams. I mean, it's a must. I mean, we don't want the dude having bad tension with the New York Jets. We don't want him skipping these voluntary workouts. I mean, sure, it's voluntary. Players
Yeah.
skip them, but he's your captain. He's your anchor of the defense. And you don't want that type of guy missing these workouts. And plus, it just sends a bad message to the rest of the
Yeah.
NFL. I mean,
Agreed.
all these NFL fans would be like, well, the New York Jets, they're not making the playoffs this year. They can't even keep, pay their best players. That's not what we want other NFL fans
Facts.
thinking anything. We don't want that idea Quentin Williams said, although it's kind of already in and all that he mentioned the New York Jets haven't paid any first round picks in quite some time in his press conference, but he needs to break that trend. You extend Quentin Williams. I also feel like you extend Sheldon Rankins as well. He was solid for the New York Jets. I mean, the Jets are going to have to be conservative with cap this year. We can't go out sign a Dalvin Tomlinson or one of the other best available defensive tackles just because we have to invest that money in quarterback. We have to pretty much just invest in a quarterback because whoever we get a Rodgers card, they're going to cost a lot of money. So you got to be cheap with cap. You re-sign somebody like Sheldon Rankins. He's probably going to be on some of the lower end free agent deals for, with all the defensive linemen this year. His spot track market value right now is like $7 million. Definitely would be down for the New York Jets resigning Sheldon Rankins to a deal like that. He's just been solid for the New York Jets. He's great next to Quentin Williams. They have great chemistry. We signed him. On the edge side of things, I feel like the New York Jets should cut Carl Lawson. I mean, he wasn't terrible this year, and while he did have 7 sacks, which I want to say is second most in his career, Not quite sure on that, but it's definitely up there for his career numbers. Never really has been a sack guy, but we signed him with the expectation he was going to bring all these pressures. You know, he was top five in
Yeah.
pressures in the NFL for like the past 3 years or something when he signed with the Jets, and he was just above average in that statistic this year. And that's not the guy the New York Jets wanted to get. And keeping Carl Lawson, you know, stops guys like Michael Clemens, Bryce Huff, Jermaine Johnson from getting on the field. And you have Carl Lawson here is just this guy who's solid, but he's holding back all the potential the defensive line could get, and he's also costing you $15 million. You let go of him, you basically have no penalty and dead cap, easy $15 million free, and then that leads guys like Jermaine Johnson, Bryce Huff, Michael Clemens, two of which are on rookie contracts, having more opportunities to play. I feel like the New York Jets should give Bryce Huff second round, first round tender, pays him like $4, $5, $6 million a year. I feel like because I don't feel like the Jets give him the extension yet, just because we've used him so little. I want to see what he looks like in more of an expanded role. I'm sure he's going to be just as good in an expanded role, have much
Right.
more of an impact, but just want to see how he is in that expanded role. And plus, you put a player on a contract here, he's going to play better. So for just the edge, you got John Franklin Myers there. I feel like the Jets keep JFM. I mean, it's kind
Yeah.
of hard to get rid of him just because of all the dead money and whatnot, but he's a versatile piece. The Jets like him in the defense, and he's a solid pass rusher and run defender, really good at stopping the run. So I feel like that's what the New York Jets should do at the edge. John Franklin Myers, Jermaine Johnson, Bryce Huff, Michael Clemens, interior of the defensive line, get Sheldon Rankins, Quentin Williams, and just improve the backups. I don't know what best backup D lines are out there, but Nathan Shepard, Solomon Thomas just weren't it this year for the New York Jets. And then at linebacker, I feel like the Jets should keep CJ Mosley. I know that $17 million is
Right.
kind of a lot, and it will
Yeah.
be hard to restructure his contract just because he really doesn't have any leverage with the New York Jets because he was the Pro Bowl, he was a second team All Pro, and there's not much he could say to be like, well, what else you want me to do? So I feel like he's gonna stay on kind of a similar contract. Maybe some money's cut off, but I feel like CJ Mosley's just gonna stay here, and he's a great piece to have on this defense. He's a captain. The players love him. The fans love him, or most fans love him at least, and he's just a great guy to have in the locker room. Quan Alexander definitely should be re-signed. I mean, Quan, he was a start for the New York Jets this year. He was pretty good against the run, pretty good in coverage. He wasn't a starting linebacker like, he was in New Orleans and San Francisco, but as his, linebacker three, uh, Quan Alexander, he was great in that role. They just should keep him in that role. And then at the other linebacker spot, that's where it gets tricky because Quincy Williams he was all right this year, was definitely better than he was in 2021. With the Jets being tight on camp this year, we might have to re-sign Quincy to like a 1-year prove-it deal maybe and hope that he gets better than he was this year. I mean, at the same time, I want the New York Jets to move on from Quincy. Don't want the Jets to move on from Quinnen. But it's just like with cap, what are we going to do? Because can we afford some of these top linebackers on the market like Levante David, TJ Edwards? And then whenever you go to kind of the mid-tier options like the Quincy Williams, is there going to be a guy that's that drastic of an improvement? Or we could also go down the draft route as well. Ton of great linebackers in this draft. You got Drew Sanders from Arkansas, Jack Campbell from Iowa, Henry To'oTo'o from Alabama. Ton of great names. And I'm not
Yeah.
even naming all of them. I mean, there's just a lot of great linebackers.
You're right. There are a lot of great linebackers in this draft.
But then if we, trade one of our first to Rodgers, you got to use that second round pick and maybe even third on offensive lineman. It throws a wrench in the plans. I feel like the safe net option is Quincy Williams, although we could definitely improve. But that's what I feel like the Jets do in the linebacker and defensive line area.
Okay, so I agree with you, but I don't agree with about Quincy. I actually, if you want to keep Quinnen happy, Quincy I feel like is a dynamic duo, and I think like they're a package. So I feel like you got to keep Quincy around. I understand he hasn't been like super great at times, but I get that. But I think he even said in one of his press conferences that he wants to be paid for what he's worth, just like Quinnen. So I think that's going to be hard. I really want that linebacker from Alabama super bad. I'm an Alabama fan, been Roll Tide since I was 15, but it's going to be hard. I would love to replace him with Quan Alexander because I don't think Quan Alexander is going to be back. So I would love to keep Mosley back, but I really do think Mosley does have a little bit of leverage because he did become a Pro Bowler. He was one of our consistent linebackers this year and even overall on defense. But everything what Jude said, Liam, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I would definitely try to re-sign Quincy and Quan. Quan only made $1 million this year. I almost said
Ain't that
$1,000.
crazy? I feel like he's gonna want
Yeah,
more now. What do you think?
Oh yeah.
give him 2.5 or 3.
Right.
And then I think with a lot of guys, you got to restructure a lot of contracts.
Exactly.
CJ, I
Exactly.
don't think CJ already restructured. I don't think he's restructuring again.
Facts.
Right.
But at the same time, like I don't think he was really all that great this year. I mean, he had his moments. He's the team captain. He's a leader, so you kind of have to pay him. As far as like the safeties go,
Yeah.
I think we're kind of tied to Whitehead for another year.
Yeah.
But
I want to give him
Joy-
another chance, honestly.
I don't care to see Joyner, or I really
No,
don't
no,
care to see
not
Whitehead
Joyner,
either.
Whitehead. I want to give
No, I
Whitehead
know,
another chance. Just one more.
Yeah, I'm done with
but
Joyner. I'm done with
Yeah, we're all
yeah,
done with Joyner, yeah.
Yeah. He can go to another
the de-
team.
with the defensive line, JFM. I don't know if you guys want to move on from him after this year. It's like, I kind of like our defensive line. It's kind of hard to ask them to be top 5 2 years in a row. But I definitely agree with you to get rid of Michael Clemens and just give the young guys the chances. I think that's why we drafted
You mean get
Johnson.
rid of Lawson and keep Michael
Lawson,
Clemens,
yes,
right?
yes, yeah. I'm sorry,
Okay,
yes, yep,
cool.
yep.
Ooh, you almost started a riot in this chat.
Oh
Woo!
man, well, wouldn't be the first time, you know.
Right. Go
So,
on.
but
Go
yeah,
on.
it's like with the defense, I want to kind of keep them the same, and just because a lot of them still like it's the most expensive D line in all of football, but I think they each complement each other. So it's very important to keep that continuity. And they're already under contract, so you might as well just keep paying them. If you want to move on from a Carl Lawson, go ahead and do that. Save what, like $15 million or something.
Right.
That would help. Um, but I just want to go heavy offense in this draft. Just completely fix your offense. Like the defense is pretty fixed for the most part, outside of the safeties, and maybe if you want to upgrade the linebacker position. But
Right.
definitely, like we already have Reed, we have Sauce, we have Michael Carter, we have Eccles, so our corners are set.
Right.
We don't need any work with our corners. I want to go
Right.
offensive heavy in this draft, but I want to get back on offense real quick. So, Jude, you're Joe Douglas. What is your selling point? How are you selling Aaron Rodgers to come to the Jets?
Mhm.
I mean, Brees Hall, Garrett Wilson, you got 2 former first round picks, you got Becton, AVT on the line, you got a lot of talent, a lot of young talent that Aaron Rodgers can definitely work with. If who it depends on if the offensive coordinator is hired or whatnot, you could also put that in the sales pitch, especially if Nathaniel Hackett's the offensive coordinator. I mean, you could say like, hey, Aaron Rodgers, you won back-to-back MVPs under Nathaniel Hackett. You played some of your best football at the late 30s with Hackett as your offensive coordinator. How would you like to play with him again? And you also got Garrett Wilson, a stud. You can make him your next Devontae Adams. I mean, if the dude is putting up
Yeah.
this type of stats with the quarterback play he had this season, just imagine what he could do for you. I mean, the tape doesn't lie. Tape doesn't lie for Elijah Moore either. I mean, I'm starting to become an Elijah Moore fan right now just because, I mean, the
Okay.
dude can play. I mean, he can play. And
Yeah.
I feel like
Yeah,
he can
he
really,
can. He
right.
can.
I mean, he can play. And we've seen all these, subpar receivers play great with Aaron Rodgers in the past. Why can't Elijah Moore play great with him? I mean, you're definitely not going to convince me that Elijah Moore's not having 700, 800 yards with Aaron Rodgers as his quarterback. I mean, I feel like it's definitely realistic.
Yeah.
If Aaron Rodgers is his QB, even if Derek Carson's quarterback. I mean, we saw what Hunter Renfro and Matt Collins did with him. I mean,
True.
it's definitely realistic. So if you're Aaron Rodgers, I'm saying, hey, you got a lot of young talent on this offense. You got a top 5 running back in the NFL, top 10 receiver in the NFL. You got a young and improving offensive line. You got hopefully your former buddy Nathaniel Hackett. Maybe that sells him over as well, or a young genius offensive mind like a Joe Brady or someone like that.
Right.
But there's a lot that you could sell Aaron Rodgers over with. And plus, it's New York, biggest sports market in the world. You want everyone to love you. You go to the New York Jets, everyone starts to love you. You get on Sports Illustrated, all that type of stuff. You win a Super Bowl in New York, you're going to be remembered forever. I mean, everyone still talks about Joe Namath to this day. I mean, what he did, incredible. Aaron Rodgers won the Super Bowl with the New York Jets. It's going down for history. That's like getting a Lifetime movie made about it. I mean,
True.
that's insane.
Yeah.
I mean, shoot,
Namath,
yeah.
Namath is even willing to give Rodgers 12.
I know.
Exactly.
Ain't that insane? It's
Yeah.
like we're already giving him the welcome mat.
Right.
Do you think Robert Sala's on the hot seat? Do you think this is a must-win year, a playoff mandate year?
Well, Woody Johnson did say, no playoff mandate, but and I mean, it just
Yeah.
depends on who the QB is because if the New York Jets aren't able to get a quarterback this offseason and the defense still plays great, but the offense isn't producing, would that necessarily be a problem on Robert Saleh, the guy who doesn't have an offensive background or whatnot? If the defense is still playing great, it's just
Yeah.
the offense isn't doing what it's supposed to do if the New York Jets haven't brought in a quarterback. You more see that as a Joe Douglas, an offensive coordinator, an offensive problem, and not so much as Robert Saleh. But then at the same time, though, are the Jets going to be pressured to let go of Robert Saleh if the Jets don't make the playoffs? And I just don't really see that. Just because I feel like Robert Saleh, he's a great coach. I mean, what he did with this defense is incredible. We were 32nd ranked defense in the NFL, worst in the NFL. We add Sauce Gardner, DJ Reed, we get some more talented players. I mean, although we didn't really add too much to this defense, we just made some changes. I mean, some pretty big changes in the secondary. But outside of that, you get, the defense turned from worst to first. And I mean, that's a very
Yeah,
hard thing to do.
yeah,
Robert Saleh did it. And he deserves a lot of props for that. And not everyone can say they did that. And plus, his track record with the 49ers won Assistant Coach of the Year in San Francisco. Like Robert Saleh, great defensive mind. And I personally feel like he's built to be a head coach. I mean, the culture definitely is changing the New York Jets. Seems like the players definitely respect him. It's just if the offense doesn't deliver, which was the New York Jets' problem this season, Robert Saleh doesn't deserve really any blame for how the offense played. I don't feel like he should be in the hot seat unless the defense doesn't perform expectations, the offense isn't doing well, and it's just like, I don't know. I don't feel like Robert Saleh would be on the hot seat though if the New York Jets don't make the playoffs.
Okay. I don't know. What do you, I'm stumped on this one. What do you think, Liam?
it is very impressive what he did with the defense, but how much of that was Ulbrich? Is my first question. And it's just
I don't know.
you
I
don't
see
know,
what you're saying, but I think
but
Salah played a little. I mean, come on, he's a defensive mind coach. You can't
to me,
expect. You
you
can
can't
expect him.
have your team lose 6 in a row with playoffs on the line
True.
and not be on the hot seat next year.
Yeah, especially
That's
with
true.
You know,
Lafleur. His
he's
Yeah.
friend.
dude. He's Robert Sala committed something that got Todd Bowles and Adam Gase ran out of town for.
Oh no. Oh no.
Yeah. Not only
What
that,
was
and
that?
not only that, like I was at that Thursday night Jacksonville game,
You
so
were.
I'm sitting there in the pouring rain like an idiot, and because it was the biggest game at MetLife in years,
Oh, for sure.
and believe it or not,
Thursday night football.
yeah, Thursday night football, biggest game of the year, biggest game in
Facts.
years,
Facts.
playoffs on the line, and then you see Quincy Williams coming out dressed as the Grinch, and that pissed me off
Yeah, I remember
because
that.
that's a business trip. You're there to
Yeah.
handle your business. Playoffs are
Right.
on the line. You want to see all gas, no break, that extra 60%. You don't come out dressed as a freaking character. Handle your business. That was a business trip.
Okay.
And to me, it almost feels like the players are too comfortable at Robert Saleh, which is a problem for me. Now, I get it. This isn't 1980 where, the player, like you're grabbing a player by the face mask and breaking their neck and screaming in their face. I understand that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, Robert Saleh needs to go, listen, like I am your head coach. You guys either going to play for me hard and I'm going to coach hard for you, or we're just not going to care. And they went out there, they didn't care. Zach Wilson sucked. It's true. So I don't know, man. Like this is going to be a very telling year for Robert Saleh. It's going to be a very telling year for the team, and it's going to show what kind of respect the team has for Robert Saleh. I think they like him, to be completely honest with you.
Right.
But you're not there to be their best friend. And that was kind of Rex's problem too, especially towards the end. Rex just wanted to be best friends with everybody. And it's like, what happened? We hired a CEO head coach in Robert
Yeah.
Saleh. That's what he signed up as. That's why we signed
Right.
him. He's a
Right.
leader of men. He could command a defense and an offense. And then you have
Right.
guys just over there. It's like the way he talks to his players too. Like he talks to them like they're his best friends. Like, listen, this is serious. Playoffs are on the line.
Hmm.
Come play. I don't know, man. And it's like that might be something that like Aaron Rodgers might go, I don't want to play for this guy. He's on the hot seat. Things could go awry. I don't want to have to learn another system after 1 year. And how much respect do the players actually have for him? So I don't know. That's all things to take into consideration, thinking about Robert Saleh moving in 2023.
Oh, definitely, for sure.
I like it. I like it. My last question for you, Jude, and I don't know if you have any other questions, Liam, but the kicker. Resign Zerline, get someone else. Don't let him go out of the building until he gets a contract. By far, he's been one of our best kickers. I mean, in a very long time.
Yep.
I know he's getting older, but what do you think?
Well, I mean, he broke the franchise record for longest field goal ever made this year in that Vikings game, 60-yarder. I mean, Greg Zerline, he definitely still has a leg, old age or not. The dude can kick. His short-term accuracy, definitely towards the end of the year, wasn't amazing. I mean, the game time kick he had against the Lions that he completely just wide left, wasn't even close to making, obviously, isn't great. And he had the miss against the Dolphins that could have potentially tied it up and whatnot and, push the game into overtime, which, I mean, I don't think anybody wanted to watch overtime in that game, but still, that miss did have an effect on the game. And towards the end of the season, we really just started to see Greg Zerline miss a lot of kicks. And at the same time, though, he was a consistent kicker for the most part of the year. Best kicker we've had since, like, Nick Folk back in 2015. I mean, we've just had a constant rotating door of kickers for a very long time. And you get Zerline, solid option, solid veteran, proven veteran. I was kind of happy the New York Jets made that move, although I was really high on Eddie Pinheiro. Like, this dude was my boy. I was going to get an Eddie Pinheiro jersey if he made the roster. But it's just, we caught him, and I was so devastated. My heart dropped.
Me too.
I saw that in class. I read it in class, and I was like, we caught Eddie Pinheiro. Come on, what are we doing here? And, I mean, he had a lot of success in Carolina this season as well. If Eddie Pinheiro wants to come back to the New York Jets, I'll say we get rid of Greg Zerline. Not opposed to that, but I'm not really sure what the free agent kicker market looks like. I'm not really
great.
Sure. It's not great, and I don't know what the college kicker class looks like either. I was really high on Cade York from LSU, and we in the chat, LSU is my common team. Go Tigers from Louisiana, but was really one of the New York Jets to grab him. But then we had Eddie Pinheiro come in, and I'm just like, this is my dude right here. But still, definitely would like to see the New York Jets either bring back Greg Zerline, because I don't really know what a replacement would be, either through the draft or free agency. But Greg Zerline, he's going to be a solid option next season, I feel like.
Well, you want to laugh a little bit? A couple years ago, we had Brett Maher.
Oh my God, that's right. Oh, I forgot about that. Damn. Now I want to get a beer after that. I don't even drink. Oh, that's horrible.
Just
you want to know what's even worse, though?
Go smell your Cutco jersey.
Hold on. You know what's even worse? Zerline was a Cowboys kicker before, and he didn't do that great at all. And now he's here and doing really well. Wow. Now Brett Maher did really well all season, and he sucked in the playoffs.
Yep.
The curse of the Cowboys.
Oh, yeah. I got to love it. I got to love them boys.
I hate the Cowboys. Cowboys are my second hated team that I hate. And if my in-laws or any of my in-laws' family watching, yes, I said it. What about this one? Cut man?
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
he's like,
we got to think who's replacing him though. That's the thing. It's like now we got to give him something to get him.
You want to get Mac Morstead?
Yeah.
Why not?
Bring in Brett Maher.
Hey man, oh my God, this dude. I think he just.
Matt Amendola. That one game he had against the Panthers.
Yeah.
Booted it.
Yep.
Bring him on. Play better than man. Why not?
Yeah, why not?
That's hilarious.
So, we can do it, man. I don't know.
Liam, you got any other things?
Nope.
Alrighty.
Just gonna wrap it up for me.
All right, guys. This has been Everything NYJ Podcast, episode 67 with Jude Jets. You can find Jude Jets on my lower left corner, everyone else's lower right corner at Jude Jets. Everything is down here below this description, and even on Everything NYJ, all of his socials are there as well. And also, you can follow Everything NYJ on these social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. You can follow me, Italy Jet, on these social media platforms as well. And if you want to follow Liam, go ahead. He's probably not going to respond anyway. Just kidding. We love you, Liam.
Sometimes.
Sometimes. We need breaks, right? We need breaks.
Yeah.
We need breaks. Jude, we appreciate you being on the show, brother. We love you. And you're going to catch us next week with Boy Green. Boy Green will be on the show 7 p.m. Central Time, 8 p.m. Eastern Time on Wednesday nights, once a week. Safe night, everyone. Go Jets. It's going to be a crazy offseason.